Hey there, guys. Welcome back to the 2030 Challenge, where I've taken charge of Aston Villa, and we are finally in the Premier League. Coming up to the sort of 10 game mark where you can really sort of start to determine where you stand in the league, where you're sort of likely to be battling for. Hopefully, this game today against Stoke, a team of similar stature, I believe, to us, should sort of help us decide where we are at the moment, shall we say. It's been a fairly solid start. We've had relatively easy fixtures though. We've had the one game, as I mentioned last episode, against Tottenham, which, as you'll see in a sec, was a bit of a walkover for them. But apart from that, I think all of our games have been fairly winnable, and we've dropped some points, but we've been okay, I think. I'm just going to show you the fixtures now. So we kicked off the season with that amazing 4-1 win against Everton and we then had to face Spurs, and we were beaten pretty comfortably by 3 goals to 1. I believe they even missed a penalty, so it could have been even worse for us, to be honest. Farella getting 2 goals, and Julian Mendes with an sumptuous free kick on 76 minutes made it 3-0, and I really did fear the worst after that. But when you're coming up against players like this, I mean, I'm speechless at that. What more could you need? You could dominate for years if you had players like that. All in good time. But we sort of reduced the arrears with a Ricky Baxter penalty on 86 minutes. We then played in the Capital One Cup against Wolves and took them out pretty comfortably, 2 goals to 0. It wasn't so convincing, but Ricky Baxter made the scoreline look more convincing on 87 minutes with a very, very well taken goal. We then had a pretty crucial win in terms of avoiding relegation. 2-0 against Plymouth. John Stones' own goal. Is that the John Stones or is it just a regen? It is the John Stones. Incredibly, 37 years of age now. Still plodding on, bless him. And a Ricky Baxter penalty secured the 3 points on 62 minutes. And we thoroughly deserved the win, I think. We then rescued a late point at the St Mary's Stadium. Southampton, I believe, are quite a superior team to us. You can see they have players like Gareth Bate, so it's kind of hard to compete against a player with these sorts of stats. And we did a pretty good job, I think. We nullified them to an extent. The goal we did concede was from a set piece, so that's a little bit disappointing. We didn't concede anymore. We were very solid at the back, and we got our reward with a penalty in the 4th minute of 3 minutes of added time. Controversial, to say the least. But we then played Reading at home in a game that I really did expect to win. We bossed the game pretty much, and Jacob Koch's goal on 4 minutes sort of reflected that. But a Reading counter-attack caught us cold on 28 minutes, and we never replied to that. We created plenty of chances, but the finishing was pretty poor throughout. Our relatively easy Capital One Cup sort of run of fixtures continued at the Valley against Charlton. John Marshall with 2 fantastic goals after a pretty boring and goalless first half before Donovan Hinchelwood grabbed a late consolation for the Addicts. Nevertheless, the result was never really in doubt, and we progressed to the next round where we will be facing just Tottenham, just the league champions, just probably the best team in the game. Yeah, potential live comp maybe, although the chances of actually us winning that game are pretty slim. I'll have to see on that. It wouldn't be like... Anyway, the next game was away at Upton Park, and it was a very, very close game, but it was one that we ended up narrowly losing. Jorgen Larsson with the goal on 52 minutes, sinking us at the Olympic Stadium. Not the best performances at the moment. We haven't won a Premier League game in 3, which is a little bit concerning, but we're not losing games either. I think that's probably more important at this stage, just trying to survive relegation. We're not losing that many games. I think we've only lost to West Ham and Spurs, but pretty understandable defeats, to be honest. Anyway, today's live comp gives us a chance to sort of put that right, to get another win on the board and really just pull away from that bottom 3 as soon as we can. But as you can see here, the table is so tight. It's ridiculous. You've got 5 teams who have just absolutely bolted away. So you've got United and Sheffield United, surprise title challengers after signing Martinez Gonzalez from us. A chasing pack of Tottenham, West Ham and Chelsea. We've already lost to Tottenham and West Ham. We lie in 7th, but it's a bit of a false position because while we may be in 7th after 6 games, we are just 4 points above the drop zone. It is so tight. 4 points separating 7th from 18th is absolutely ridiculous. And that's why it's pretty crucial at this stage of the season we pick up as many points as we can. So let's try and do that here. We're going to be playing at home against a Stoke team who I believe are sort of mid-table quality. Oh yes, Chris White injured. He wants to leave the club. I had a bit of a fracas with him. Tried not to punch him, but it was, in the end, the temptation was too much. He wants a new challenge as he feels he's achieved as much as he can at Villa. I assume he means getting promoted. Okay, logic. But it's annoying because he came to me on deadline day. Deadline day. I can't sort out a replacement for you if you're going to be asking to leave on deadline day. If you want to leave, just say at the start of the season so I can sort out a replacement for you. So he's still at the club. He threatened to just let his contract run out, so I've just decided I'll cash in on him in January. I'm scouting plenty of replacements for him, and he is 32 now. His stats are going to decline pretty quickly, so hopefully we can get a good buck out of him and sign a better and younger left midfielder to take his place, or maybe even an attacking midfielder, sort of play without wingers and dominate the middle a bit more. Maybe that's something I would be inclined to go with. We'll have to play that by ear, to be honest. I'm not sure what I'd do with Donachi if that was the case. I think he can only play in left midfield, and he is a very, very good player for us. So that's also worth considering. Anyway, I'm just going to do the standard little bit of rotation here, and I'm going to bring on Elliot. No, he's not match fit in the slightest. I'm going to bring on Sadler for Marshall. Make sure we've got a bit more quality in midfield, and I think that's all we can really do because all my other potential sort of rotation options have next to no match fitness. So we're going to get into the game and hopefully start as we mean to carry on. Yeah, I don't know what to make of the start so far. We've obviously been cut adrift of the pack that's developing at the top. I've never seen a table develop like that early in the season. It is ridiculous. But it's allowed us to sort of sit pretty in 7th place in the table. At least enjoy the top half while it lasts, because I do expect us to sort of finish bottom half. I think we'll be alright for relegation, to be honest. I think we're too good to go down. I think. Alright, I'm not prepared to jinx it, but yeah, I can't see us having that spectacular a season. It's just going to be about surviving as soon as we can. Looking forward to next season, where obviously consolidating your Premier League status means a lot in terms of the money you can bring in. So obviously it'll be a very busy transfer window next season, provided we do stay up, and I fully intend for us to stay up. Okay, so we are now hopefully launching an attack as Manga, the new defensive midfield signing, he's performed fairly well. Had a bit of beef with me about my treatment of Chris White. I told Chris White that no, he's not going to leave now because I can't sort out a replacement for him, basically. But Manga wasn't having any of it. He thought he should be allowed to leave and just, leave us with one option in left midfield for the entire season. It's just not happening. Anyway, we have started on the front foot, but we always start on the front foot and we never create any highlights. So that's a worry as Bridges for Stoke launches in a free kick. Donachi picks up the ball. Donachi isn't really doing much with it. He finds Antelek, and we're just being very, very patient here, which is probably why we've only had 6 shots. We've been very solid at the back, though, keeping Stoke to just the 1 shot. We need to convert this into... Will Slavkov score? Of course he won't. Donachi, come on. Yes, it's posting in. We have taken the lead here at Villa Park. That is a fantastic start. Actually creating, shots into meaningful highlights. For once. Christ. Of course, as usual, Slavkov, he had a very good start to his career here, but he's just proven to just not score enough goals for us. And I will be looking to sell him on. as we get a highlight straight from kickoff. Will Stoke provide a swift reply here? Pickard to Carter. And Mapelli, we need to be careful. Bridges. Mapelli, we're pressing them very well. But we can't afford to lose our defensive shape. We've done that. We've won the ball. Sorry. Marty to Koch. Antelek, Sadler. Very, very patient build-up. But we're getting it forward eventually. Slavkov, can he find someone? Yes, he can. Tweedy. Antelek, very sensible football. Slavkov, hit it. What a goal, Slavkov! Yes! Wow. Talking about how he has not had a very good sort of start to his Villa career and I might be selling him. He goes and scores an absolute wonder goal. It's surely fate. It's the curse of the commentator, isn't it? But he doesn't do enough of that. He doesn't. He's... Oh, go on, Antelek, make it 3. What a free kick. It's 3-0. This has been a fantastic game. We are absolutely destroying Stoke here at Villa Park. Dejan Antelek with the free kick, interrupting my sort of interlude on Ivan Slavkov. He doesn't do that enough. He doesn't sort of pull those sorts of shots off enough. He gets nervous in front of goal. Marty, it's 4. Jesus Christ. We are 4-0 up at half-time. Wow. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this at all. It seems to be we only perform well in live comms this season. You'll recall the first game of the season was absolutely fantastic. Our 4-1 win against Everton. But Stoke have just come to Villa Park and done a Sunderland. Wow. Not sure really what to say about that. That was absolutely excellent. We probably won't have that many highlights now, simply because we don't need to sort of bomb forward as much. What was I saying? I think we may as well consider the Slavkov point dropped now because, yeah, so many interruptions. They're good interruptions though. I like this. I like the fact that we're scoring far too many goals for me to sort of have a coherent trail of thought, because even if I did have a coherent trail of thought, I wouldn't be able to express it clearly because words never come out right when you're live comming. I don't know why. Slavkov will whip it in. It's Alty with a good header, but it's not really good enough because it drifted way wide. Sheffield United, fair play to them. Going to win their 7th game on the trot by the looks of it. Could Sheffield United be a surprise tip for the title this season? Christ, what is this world? You've got Spurs dominating everything. That's scary enough as it is, but for Sheffield United to potentially win the league, that would just be different gravy. We're going to bring on Greg Nichols because he is in desperate need of some match fitness. I think the same would go with Elliot Pack, in all fairness. Bring Antelek off, who's had an absolutely fantastic game. Hopefully he gets the standing ovation he deserves. As Donachi sprays it forward to Tweedy. I was about to sub him for Nichols. Carter makes the tackle. And now Greg Nichols will come on in place of Jorg Tweedy. We're just going to give him 20 minutes, a little runabout, build up some match fitness, and hopefully we can look to start him again in the future so that he can bang in some more goals for us. But we are coming to the end of this game, and we are looking very, very good indeed for a 4-0 win. Hopefully we don't concede because I don't think we deserve it. We haven't let Stoke have a sniff. Oh dear. Manga, Korinek, Sadler. We're playing. We're just keeping the ball here, which is sort of the essence of how we tend to build up our attacks anyway. But when you're 4-0 up, you don't even need to be building attacks. Just keep the ball. Come on. Manga. Pack. Nichols. That's the first time I've seen him on the ball for ages. I think he got injured just before the season started, I think. Yeah. But it's good that he's had a runabout, and it's good that we have absolutely destroyed Stoke at home. I was slightly worried that we were starting to experience a huge dip in form and that we'd sort of struggle to replicate our form at the start of the season. But that's sort of proven that maybe I shouldn't worry. I can have faith in this team to comfortably dispatch any sort of lower Premier League team that I please. But yeah, you can see the table there. I'm just going to continue it until everyone's played their games. So I'll be right back and then review the table and then decide when the next live com will be. All right then, lads. We are here after 7 games. We have the table, and yeah, we've consolidated a pretty comfortable top half position, you could say, after that comprehensive 4-0 win against Stoke. United and Sheffield United really are sort of bolting away from everyone. I cannot believe how good Sheffield United have been in their first 7 games. I really am not looking forward to playing them. It's just beyond belief. I expect Spurs to catch up with them eventually. Man United sort of doing all they can to stave off Spurs for now. Chelsea really are far behind now in the title race. In terms of us, yeah, we're sitting pretty in 6th. Pretty happy with that. Man City down in 12th with Arsenal, who are relegation strugglers these days, unfortunately, along with Liverpool. Arsenal, Man City, Stoke and Liverpool, all in the bottom half. Relegation struggling teams. Nottingham Forest is one that just astonishes me. They are down, rooted to the bottom on 2 points. Where did they finish last season? They finished 3rd. Zidane still in charge. What has happened to Nottingham Forest? Surely Zidane is going to get sacked. Wow. Everton and Reading also down there. We've already smashed Everton. Dropped points against Reading, which is disappointing. But yeah, well, we have had fairly easy fixtures. To be in the top half, to take advantage of our easy fixtures, you could say, is really satisfying to be able to say. So, with that in mind, our next live com will be... I'm not going to do the Spurs game because it's only a couple of games after this one. What I'll do is live com. We'll go Hull, I think. They're near us in the table. Hopefully they still will be by the time the live com comes about. It should be, a game that we have a good chance in. Should be 2 evenly matched teams, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully you guys will join me for that. If we do, by some miracle, get past Spurs in the Capital One Cup, then I may consider live coming the 5th round if it's against a decent enough team. But if not, Hull at home will be our next live com. That is going to be it for this episode, guys. So take care of yourselves. Hope you've enjoyed that. I will see you next time.